What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Melodious going up on the right side against Snake Eye. This is going to be the Snake Eye deck, I believe, without any of the Fire King cards. I know a lot of people are hopping left and forth, deciding if they want to play the Fire King cards or not. I believe myself that the Fire King cards probably don't really incline the ceiling of the deck. Obviously, they are a little bit more inconsistent, but they have amazing cards like Kieran. Before diving into, like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel a lot. We're on the road to 10K. Trying to hit that before the end of the year. We need your guys' support. We're going to be starting off with a Prosperity on the side of the Melodious player, winning the die roll here. Also, a fun fact with the Snake Eye deck, they can play a lot more hand traps than the Fire King build. But we do see a Dig here for 6, and we see a Sonata, a copy of the Soprano, a copy of the Herald, and then, of course, the Ostinato. And then we're going to be activating we're going to add the Ostinato. We're going to also activate the Ostinato here, I believe. I think we are going to be. We're going to activate the Ostinato here. We do see that hit with an Ash Blossom there. You know, there was 2 of them in the Prosperity pile, so chances are they probably don't have a copy of it. And we look like there might be a Called By in the hand here. They're going to be thinking about hitting that copy of Ash Blossom. They are thinking about it here. And we do have the Call By the Grave for the Ash Blossom. That is going to allow the Ostinato to resolve. And that's going to be the Refrain alongside the copy of... It really, like, this is what, when you send these cards, it kind of depends on what you have in your hand, right? If you have multiple hand traps or other cards, you normally want to be sending the lines that are going to let you get the full combo. So being the copy of Soprano here, because if you added the copy of Couple, it's not going to do very much for you. But we're going to be doing, or I guess, if you dump Couple, then you aren't going to be able to, like, really add it back correctly. You want to kind of add back a card that you're going to be able to add back when you summon it. So here, Botch is going to activate its effects, most likely summon a copy of the Refrain, which is going to then search for the Couple, which you're going to be able to add back. But if you already had a card in your hand, you could then summon out the copy of the Shapina instead, add back the copy of Couple if you had something. But we're going to be seeing that hit with a copy of Mourner here. You know, double hand trap is going to be quite nice. But we do have the Herald here. Oh my. Sending the copy of the LG, so we are opting to play the LG, which I think is definitely correct. You know, it also boosts up your fairy count by 1 here, just by essentially not having a 1 of hand trap, which is pretty nice. But we are going to be negating the Mourner here. Essentially, stopping those double hand traps is absolutely just crazy. You know, we did use 3 cards for that, but we will be able to add back a bunch of those cards. So we're actually going to be dumping the Shapina here. So is the last card in hand the copy of Couple? That'd be kind of crazy. We can add back Herald if we wanted to. But I think we're going to add back the copy of the Refrain here, because we have not normaled, so we can normal it out if we want to. We can also just activate the effect if we wanted to in the Pendulum Scale, dump the copy of Couple, and then we can use to link away if we wanted to, but we're going to be seeing them go for the Refrain, normal summon to special summon, or to add the Couple here. Couple can then trigger summoning out the copy of Soprano. And then we're going to be able to activate the Soprano if we wanted to. I feel like we don't in this case. We are on summon number 4 here, I believe. So we can play around Nibiru in this way by just activating the effect. But we're going to activate the Couple here, which can let us search for a copy of the Fusion spell here. And is that a 3rd hand trap being Ghost Ogre? It is. Finally, you know, using the 3rd hand trap to stop the effect, which is going to stop the spell, which is quite nice. You know, we don't have access anymore to that this turn. We have used Prosperity, so we won't be able to draw it anyways. So it's not that impactful. Obviously, it does stop the DD Crow, but we can still Soprano to essentially go for that copy of Etoile, and then summon back out the copy of probably the LG here. We can also link away if we wanted to as well. But we have used 3 cards in their hand, leaving this with 3 cards for turn. So the question is, do we want to go for an Etoile to bounce 3? Or do we want to go for maybe the link and summon out a copy of Aria? At this point, they don't really know what they're playing, so they're going to activate the effect of the Soprano here. And we most likely are going to be using... I feel like you're kind of forced to use the refrain alongside the boccia. Because you want Chapina for the follow-up. Like, unless you want to add back the Herald depending on the last card in the hand. But I feel like that's just not the best option. Boccia is going to trigger on the Soprano. Then we're going to be chaining both the extra deck monsters, I guess the pendulums. Summon out here. We're going to activate the effect then to add back. We're going to add back the copy of the LG here. And we can pendulum summon that out if we want to. That will prevent them from being destroyed by card effect, which is pretty nice. Also gaining a little boost. And it will allow us to have a bounce 3, I suppose. We can also use those to go into the copy of this triple TD Crow, depending on what we really feel like we're playing against. I know that in his mind right now, it could either be Centurion or it could be Snake Eyes. Both decks this player does play pretty consistently at the locals. But like when you look at triple hand traps, it means you're playing a deck that has lots of hand traps. So either copies of, let's say, Melodious, a copies of Snake Eye, or another combo pile that, could be a Cashier deck as well. We're going to be Soprano, going to activate its effects here to Fusion Summon, using the copy of the Chapina to go into that copy of the Shaberta, the triple DD Crow here. And if that was like the case, yeah, we're going to see the Pendulum summon out the copy of LG. And they're just taking a second to read the Shaberta. So chances are they're not really playing the mirror match here. But we are going to be seeing them pass turn with one card in the hand. We didn't see a dump off the refrain here as well. They're going to go Wanted here, search for the Witch. And then Witch is going to activate its effect, sending another copy of a hand trap. Being a DD Crow here, that's kind of crazy. Saw another hand trap and a Crow in the build as well. I wonder if they're playing like 2s, 2 and 2s, so they can see a maximum of the multiple hand traps that are not going to be the hard ones for turns. But we're going to be seeing them set a copy of the Origins here. And do we just activate the effect to bounce now? No, we don't. Okay. We're going to be seeing them summon out a copy of Snake Eye Ash, being able to activate the effect here, searching most likely for the Poplar. Poplar will then summon himself out. This could also be another good time, if we're going to be able to summon this spell here. Search for the field spell. We're going to play the field spell, and we could choose to bounce here if we wanted to. This will, kind of make it so that they have to play with the last card in hand, which is unknown. So they are thinking on it. They will have they want to draw, but we're going to be bouncing with the Étoile here. And then we do chain the Shaberta to triple DD Crow, hitting the the copy of, I believe it was Diabell Star, and then, of course, the Origins. And then we're going to be bouncing that back to the hand, so they won't be able to resolve the effect because it's no longer on the field. Kind of cool how that works as well. Pardon me. But they may not be able to activate it again. I'd have to read the field spell. A lot of the field spells, you can only activate the effect once per turn, which would kind of stop that. And I think they have a talent in the hand, though. But they kind of have to summon a body for that. They do have a talent, okay. So the last card is a talent. If we draw 2, we wouldn't have that many good options. We are going to be choosing here to... We are going to be choosing to draw 2, okay. I wonder what they're trying to draw into. Maybe those hand traps will survive. We see a Diabell Star and the Droplets, which isn't going to do very much for us. It will let us survive the next turn, though, which is pretty nice. You just have to kind of survive. They will summon itself out, and it's like, okay, well, you have Poplar and then Snake Eyes Ash, but they're going to realize they just don't have enough. We are going to be seeing them summon out. And they had the Ash in the hand. We could have hit that, but wanting to kind of save it there. But that was game one. We saw the triple hand trap not really hurting them, and discarding that fourth copy. Triple DD Crow also being able to destroy their resource management, getting rid of that copy of Wanted, so it won't be put back to the bottom of the deck. And then, of course, the copy of Origins definitely hurts the Origins not be able to put back to the bottom and be able to search. And if we save that and start hitting the other copies of Wanted in their deck, they're essentially going to be losing their Diabell Stars access as well, which is just kind of crucial with the deck. But we did see some kind of unfortunate hands from the Snake Eyes player. They did have the triple hand trap, but we had the Herald and then the Call of the Grave as well. Being able to answer those cards, it's just absolutely insane. Which is kind of the power of the Melodious cards itself. They have a lot of stability to play through those kind of hand traps, which is kind of cool that we see that this is the second time a deck that is very, very low budget, with low rarity cards from Arc 5 get the support that they had with Pendulum cards. The first half was Super Hyper Samurai with Bokashi, and that was just an insane deck. And then now even this deck here, Melodious having the same kind of little retrain. But I wonder what we're going to get next. Maybe some Predaplant support, but most likely probably not. Maybe some Frifer support, that'd be pretty nice. But we're going to be seeing the Snake deck choosing to go first here. Going to see a Bonfire, search for very copy of Snake Eye Ash, but then normal summon out the effect. Search for Poplar here, activate effect of Poplar. Summon stuff out there, we're going to be placing the copy of the Field Spell here. We all know how this combo works. It's one of the best combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now to this day. Snake Eye's deck going to be a powerhouse of a deck. We're going to be seeing them place the new Snake Eye Diabell Star face up on its field, and we're going to activate the Ash effect sending itself and the Snake Eye Diabell Star, summoning a copy of the Oak, and then going to be able to reborn back out the Ash. We're going to then send the Oak alongside the copy of the Field Spell here to go for a copy of the Flame Verge, which is a pretty nice body. Then we're going to activate a Wanted here to be able to search for the Diabell Star as well. And then we can actually discard a card off the Diabell Star depending on what we're going to be needing. But we're going to be going into the copy of IP here, and then we're going to be activating the effect of Poplar to place the Snake Eye Diabell Star. And I believe that triggers to place the copy of Poplar. I would have to read this one myself as well, which they are doing. Oh, it would summon itself out, okay. While this continues spell, you can target one fire monster in your graveyard except itself. Place it to its parent as it can just spell special summon this card. Okay. So essentially you place that with Poplar, then it can summon itself and place the Poplar anyways. So you get a free body on the field, and it is Giant Poplar, so it's kind of fitting. We're going to see them go for that copy of Diabell Star. Then we're going to go up into the Celine to summon back out that copy of Diabell Star here. Is it also a spellcaster? No way. It is a spellcaster too. Holy shit. That is pretty nice. So we're going to be seeing the Celine summon it back out here. And we have 2 level 8s on the field. We're going to be going into an Appaloosa here with the Flame Verge and the copy of the Celine, which is going to be summoning out the copy of the Oak and then the Ash. We're then going to activate the Origins, sending to summon out the copy of the Jet Synchron here. And then we're going to synchro away into a copy of Excel, with that Diabell Star being a level 8. Being level 7 going into level 8 here. And then we're going to be seeing Excel bring back out the copy of Jet Synchron for another body here. So we are playing Excel here to go into a level 8. And I do see an XYZ in that extra deck that is not a copy of Typhon. The Excel being a level 8 is interesting to me. We're going to go for a Pit Knight early here. I did see a post on Twitter that said if you're summoning Pit Knight early in your deck, it's either not optimized or the right way to play. But this might be just a link 2 to go up into, so you can go for a Princess line. We're going to see Jet summon itself back out by discarding a copy of Imperm. Then we're going to use itself and then Pit Knight early to go up into a copy of the Princess here. Princess can then bring back out the Flame Verge, which can then place the IP. And then we're going to be seeing the Princess and the Flame Verge, or Princess and the Oak to go into a copy of Amberwell. Then we're going to be overlaying those 2 level 8s here for a copy of number 38, Hope Harbinger. This is going to be a spell negate. Kind of cool. I figured that's what we were seeing the Excel kind of for, being another body. And then, of course, level 8 Synchro. Kind of just use, instead of using the the kind of Omega loops that people were doing, going for this instead, providing a spell. But we go Battle Phase, and they go, oh, they don't have it. What's the only card? We have a spell negate, a monster negate. We have so much on the field, but they have it there. They have that evenly matched. Oh my gosh, this board has now finally been evenly matched here. We see the pure panic on the Snake Eyes player, Game 1, getting triple hand trapped, and like, oh yeah, this is fine, and still being able to play, and then having the evenly as well. Nick is always a good sport. Shout out to Nick. And we have the cross out. Are they going to go, there's no way it's for evenly, right? There's no way. Okay, we're going to go for a talents here. So obviously going to be keeping one of those monsters on the field. And you definitely want to just use your cross out so that it does get used. But getting rid of the IP, getting rid of the face down, getting rid of that copy of cross out. You kind of want to keep a fire on the field. So I feel like you just get rid of they're choosing to get rid of the Anvil Whale as well. Keeping that Flame Bird. It was between the Flame Bird and the Anvil Whale in my books. But we're going to be seeing first movement solo as well. And they're on 0 cards now. Just Princess, Flambridge, and a Dream. Flambridge will be able to summon out the Oak as well as the copy of Ash. Able to get those kind of resursions. But we're going to be seeing Refrain summon itself out. And they have, this is the second card they used here. So they're still on their second card. We're going to see the Refrain activate its effects. And Princess is going to trigger here to destroy it and summon itself out. And we get to search for a copy of Couplet here. Flamebird will be able to trigger as well as the Couplet. We're going to see the Oak as well as the Ash being summoned. And then Oak can bring out either the copy of Poplar or the Jet Synchron. And we do hit the Ash with an Ash. We're going to summon out the copy of Poplar. Poplar can then activate its effects to search here, searching for that copy of the Origins. I definitely want to be able to continue playing with this. We then activate the effect of Couplet in the scale, so we didn't have a body to summon it, interestingly enough. And that's going to activate its effect, searching for a copy of Concerto. And then we're going to activate the Concerto here, so we do have a copy, and I wonder if it's a copy of, I was going to say LG here, which cannot be summoned by the Couplet, unfortunately, because it is a level 4 or lower. So that'd be kind of crazy if it's just a Melodious monster. We're going to then see the effect of, or we're going to see Botcha being summoned here, and then we're going to be, of course, activating the effect of Couplet, and of course the Refrain, summon itself out, and then we are going to activate the effect of the Botcha to summon. And we probably summon either a copy of Sonata or no, not Sonata, my bad, Soprano here, the fusion one. We could go for Shapina, but Shapina doesn't really do anything for us. Being able to add back that LG is not going to do anything unless you want to be linking away. And that point is just not really worth it. So we're going to be going for the Shapina anyways. Okay. We kind of need to have access for that. Oh, yeah, I see what we're going to do here. We're going to activate Refrain. I forgot that we haven't done that yet. To dump the copy of the Soprano here from the deck to the graveyard, which can be added back with the Shapina. And then we can have essentially the full combo that we need. They're thinking about sending it. I wonder what their other target is. We do see a Veiler in the hand, okay. So we're going to send it there. Then we're going to be seeing the Sonata, the Soprano, whatever that is. The level 7 add it back. We're then going to Pendulum summon it out here. And we could activate the effect to add back the LG, which would be a good discard target off of the bloom that we could be going into momentarily here. We kind of have a choice between either link away or we can activate the effect to go into the copy of the Étoile. We are going to activate the effect to add back the LG here. Then we're going to activate the effect to Synchro Summon, to Fusion, going into that copy of Étoile, and then Botcha, Botcha is going to be able to trigger, bringing back out the copy of Shapina, and then of course the Conserva is going to allow us to draw one card. So we draw into something. I can see it there, something with the copy of Shapina, and we're going to activate the effect to adding back the copy of Soprano. We have not normal summoned yet, so we can always normal summon out that copy of Soprano. Then we can link away into the copy of Bloom, discarding the copy of LG to get essentially another combo. We are going to be seeing the normal summon activates effects. We could go for the triple DD Crow as well if we wanted to, kind of choosing to go into that line instead. I would probably myself link away into the Bloom and then summon out the second copy of Soprano and then a copy of Sonata from my deck so that we can actually get more effects to resolve. We're going to be doing that here. We're going to activate the effect discarding the LG. Since you got a free here, we're going to summon out the copy of Aria and then a copy of the Sonata here. So not choosing going for that triple DD Crow-esque effect. We are valuing the destruction by battle and then bouncing those cards as a better interruption, which is very fair. You definitely want to be able to boost. We also set a card as well, which is pretty nice. Maybe a copy of Imperm. And we do know that they have the copy of the Veiler in the hand, which can definitely stop it. Bouncing back that Princess can also be really good. I think that we might be saving the triple DD Crow for... Well, let's see. If we went triple DD Crow, we banished the copy of the Flamebirds. We'd probably get rid of... They wanted... Pit Knight's not going to do anything there, I don't believe. And maybe the Snake Eye Diabellstar, probably. But we're going to be seeing the Princess activates effects. We're going to hit that with a copy of the Imperm. We can't really bounce it to hand. We could bounce Ash. We could just leave Ash on the field, bounce all three, and just leave that. But they're going to go into a access code there because it is impermed. And then access code is going to be targeting the copy of the Princess. And then we're going to be seeing the Poplar put the copy of Snake Eyes Diabellstar in the spell and trap card zone here. On res, we're going to be seeing the access code get hit with a copy of Failure there. We link that away into the Zealantis here. We're going to be trying to summon with these bodies. We're going to activate Zealantis. Do we chain Etoile? I think we do. I feel like you definitely do, and you bounce 3, and they have Origins in the hand because it was searched last turn. We're going to be bouncing 3 here with those, leaving the Snake Eyes Diabellstar in the Spell and Trap card zone, which is interesting to me. I feel like that's kind of something that you want to get rid of, and we're going to be normal summoning with the Oak. I definitely would have probably left the Oak on the field, because now they get another body on the field here, being the Snake Eyes Poplar. Being you're kind of in a losing position no matter what, and they can't be destroyed by battle, so you still have that Aria on the field. They can't be dealing damage, and just one Aria alone can be so problematic. Especially for Tenpai if they can't get into that level 10, by the way. So we're going to be seeing the Snake Eyes Diabellstar activate the effect, place the Flamebridge, since I'm myself out here. Flamebridge being a really nice card to be able to put in the Spell and Trap card zone. And we could go into an SP Little Knight here. A lot of our bodies... Well, we can't really go an SP Little Knight because guess what? Can't target, so it doesn't really matter. We can't be destroyed by battle nor targeting. So we're going to be kind of forced to go into a Hita. There's Ash in the graveyard that we can take, but there's not really much that we can go into here. And because it was summoned into a Bloom zone, it's not going to be able to be hit with a copy of the Anima. We're going to go into another copy of Zealantis here, and we have to activate the effect to make it so it's not summoned by a copy of the... it's my bad. It's not summoned by a copy of the of a Melodious, We're going to activate the Origins here, and we do hit that with a copy of Ash Blossom, having triple hand traps once again, but the Snake Eyes player is going to be able to play through it pretty well. And then we're going to be going into the copy of the Zealantis, and then Zealantis effect's going to activate there. We're going to be summoning with that body. We're going to activate the effect Princess to pop both of them, and they're going to emit defeat here because it's no longer summoned by a copy of them of a Melodious. Therefore, it can be destroyed by card effects and we can destroy by battle. So, we kind of get to that OTK right there, right then and then, without even having to have those bodies come back. So maybe the Ariel was not the correct play. Maybe we should have gone for that copy of the Fusion, and then maybe banish their copy of Flamebird. I think the Diabellstar was in the graveyard, so that, and then I guess the Oak doesn't matter because it would just summon it back out. But maybe just doing that so they wouldn't really get game. But sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Obviously, depending on the plays, we try to keep that Arya on the field to survive, but they had enough gas there, even through those triple hand traps, which is kind of incredible when you think about it. Their hand's already been depleted. They were down to 0 cards there, getting evenly matches for 1 Flamberge. Leaving Flamberge and Princess Engraved led to all that with insane follow-up, which is why Snake Eyes is one of the best decks that we've had in a long time. We're going to be seeing the Melodious player choose to go first here. Time is going to be very close. We do see the Tam Tam in their hand here. We see an Ostinato and then an Ash Blossom in their opponent's hand as well. We're going to see Ostinato activates effects, and that's going to be hit with a copy of the Ash. We do see 2 cards move to the side saying Thinking here. That would lead to me to believe that we have a Herald of the Orange Light here. Or just making our opponent think, oh shit. But we are going to be seeing that resolve. I do believe Time gets hit in the round here, and we see Prosperity going to be activated. We're going to be digging for 6. What can we hope to draw here? A card that lets us fusion summon. It's going to resolve. We see Imperm, Ostinato, a Cobble of the Grave once again here, and a first movement solo alongside a Couplet. Do we choose to add the Ostinato to hand? No way we choose Cobble of the Grave. There's no way. We're going to add the Cobble of the Grave to the hand here. Wanting that extra resources in Time. What in the heck? They already have the refrain, so there's no need to add the copy of the first movement solo here. And we're going to be seeing them activate the effect, summoning out the copy, or searching for the copy of Couplet. Couplet can then activate effects, summoning out from the hand here. And that's going to summon out the copy of the Tam Tam. This is going to let us burn. If we use it for a fusion material, we're going to activate the effect of the Couplet. Couplet can then search for a copy of the Concerto here. And it looks like we are going to be able to go into Baka here, or Bacha. And burning for 5. We are in Time. They probably wanted to add the Cobble of the Grave just so that they had the the will of stopping it. So being able to stop, for example, an Ogre on the Concerto search there. But we're going to be going Bacha 1, Tam Tam 2, Couplet 3. They do hit that with a Veiler, and it's going to be fine because they are taking 500 life points, and that just can still be a pass. But we just reveal the hand, and we see a Poplar, a copy of the Crossout, and then, of course, the Diabellstar. They would have been able to kind of play through it like we saw with that copy of Cobble of the Grave, being able to negate that, summon out a copy of the Shapina, and then maybe play through it, or summoning out another copy of whatever, being able to link away. But we do see the Melodious deck taking the win in Time there with that copy of Tam Tam burning for life points. That is kind of the game that we play. Every deck has a burn card now, which is kind of just unfortunate. But hopefully you guys are watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more content like this. Let me know in the comment section down below what other decks you guys want to be seeing. And don't forget to stay safe. Peace.